One thing that every DJ will learn along their scratch journey is that in order to get the right scratch sounds, you have to be doing the correct scratch techniques. For example, let's start with the one-click flare. So with that one-click flare, we can break that into 4 separate sounds. And if you've watched my videos, you know I like to pretty much do everything out loud. So when I was a beginner DJ, I may have heard that, and if I only knew how to do the transformer scratch, I might have taken that in my head and tried to do this. So in that second example, I'm using transformer scratches instead of the one-click flare. Now, if you kept practicing that transformer, you could probably make it sound really close to the one-click flare. However, that's actually the point of this video. You want to learn each scratch technique the actual way it's done. So that actually brings me to the thing that actually blew my mind. So I'm gonna play a video of a scratch that I heard a while back, like a short scratch pattern, and I'm gonna tell you why it blew my mind. So I would say it was about a year ago that I heard this. And the first thing that I heard in my mind is, okay, I hear 6 different sounds. So to me, it immediately sounded like the 2-click flare orbit. So in my head, the 2-click flare orbit is So for the longest time, I thought I was replicating that by doing the 2-click flare. However, I recently stumbled upon a scratch tutorial that was a flare and chirp scratch tutorial done in the swing rhythm, and I finally realized, literally mind blown, this entire time that's exactly what that original scratch pattern that I showed was. It's actually a flare and a chirp done with the swing rhythm. So that is the thing that actually blew my mind. So in this video, I'm going to be going over what the swing rhythm actually is, how to use the swing rhythm with the flare and the chirp scratch, and then I'll show you how you can practice it as well. So with that said, let's get right into it. So there's a quick example of the chirp flare scratch done in that swing rhythm. And this is what it looks like if we're doing it without the swing rhythm. So if you can't tell the difference between those, you definitely will be able to at the end of this video. So first, let's go ahead and count regularly and not in a swing rhythm. So if we said 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all of those are going to be eighth notes, and they all have equal counts or an equal amount of like time value. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, all equal. With the swing rhythm, they're actually going to be unequal, and we're going to have little bits that are going to be longer and shorter. So a swing rhythm will be this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So with that, you can hear how those ands are a little bit shorter and the 1, 2, 3, 4 are a little bit longer. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 versus 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So now let's cover how we're going to translate that to the chirp and the flare. So again, this is the chirp flare, just regular time, no swing rhythm. So that's the only difference, that just a little bit of swing in there instead of just your all equalized counts. Okay, so when we're actually doing this with the song playing, you're going to want to start on that 4 in the ands. We have our sound playing, crossfader is open. We're just going to start with the forward scratch. So we're just going to push forward and we're going to close our crossfader. This is on that and. So 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now we're going to open our crossfader like this, and we're going to keep pushing forward on our vinyl. And this is going to be our longest sound here. We're going to have da, 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 da. So once we get here, we're going to pull back and we're going to close our crossfader. Just like that. We're going to come all the way back to the beginning, open the crossfader, and then we just have a chirp here. Okay, so pushing forward, open, back, open, chirp scratch. Just like that. da, da. Okay, perfect. So once you have that down, as far as the chirp, the flare, and you understand the swing rhythm, the first way we're gonna practice this is we're gonna start with a BPM, or I recommend starting with a BPM anywhere from like 90 to 100. And what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna practice it halftime, okay? So this is what that looks like. So doing it at this speed, that 90 to 100 range in halftime, that's gonna just help you really get your hand control down, really understand how it works in that swing rhythm. Once you get that down, now we're gonna move to a much slower track, so around 70 to 75 BPM, and we're gonna do it at the actual speed. You'll see that it actually starts in full speed right after that, and actually on an so it's gonna be 4 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and So as you can see there, even at a really slow BPM at 70, this is a very fast scratch pattern. So it's definitely gonna take a lot of practice. However, once you can start doing it right at 70 at a pace that sounds really clean, then you can start moving it up to 75 to 80, 85, 90. And once you're up to 90 and doing it at that quick speed, that's when you know you've really gotten it down. And it's an amazing scratch when you really can get it down cleanly, okay? So that is, again, the thing that really blew my mind, seeing that video and saying, hey, this is actually the pattern that I thought I was doing, but I really wasn't. So that actually made me slow down. And for 2024, I'm really in my game trying to better my craft. Like, of course, I teach these tutorials, but at the same time, I'm also trying to up my game and level up my scratching at the same time. So if you enjoyed this video, please press that like button. Please press that subscribe button as well, and turn on that notification bell so you know the next time that I upload a video. And without further ado, as y'all know, I'll catch y'all on the next flight.